We're about a week into Alchemy and we're finally figuring out what exactly is sitting at the top of the meta. And right now, in my opinion, the #1 deck out there currently is going to be clerics. And man, I am tired of losing to clerics. So with that being said, today's deck, we're calling it the Cleric Killer. Cue the intro. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are getting back to my roots, playing some control. I absolutely love control lists, and there are some new banger cards here in Alchemy that we got for control, and I decided to run it in Esper today because Esper is one of my favorite color schemes, and I cannot wait to break this thing down for you. But before we do that, as always, if you find any value in today's content and you're not already subscribed to the channel, I just ask if you take a moment to do so. It is a free way to help support the channel, and I would be forever grateful for that. With that being said, let's talk about today's list. Right at the top, I want to make sure I say this right at the top because I know I'm going to get a lot of comments. There were a couple of times that I played this brand new card. It's called Discover the Formula. It says seek 3 non-land cards. The non-land cards in your hand perpetually gain. This spell costs 1 less to cast. This card is busted. I don't know why in my brain I knew what this card did, but I didn't reread it before playing today's deck. For some reason, I thought it was drawing the top 3 cards of our deck, not exactly seeking 3 particular cards. So you're going to hear me reference a few times where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get a land off the top of this. I understand. That's not how the card works. I figured it out after the fact. I don't know why I was thinking that was going to work that way, but in my brain, I think just because I'm playing it for the first time, I thought it was just draw. Seek is a new ability. It's brand new to Alchemy, so maybe that's why. But anyways, Discover the Formula. I do end up saying some silly things about this card later in the video, but this card is insane. If you are able to cast this card on turn 6, you pretty much win the game, it feels like, because you're going to get so much value out of that. You're going to find so many tools and everything in your hand, because all we have is Leer as far as creatures go. Everything's going to get perpetually cheaper, which is so good. And of course, you guys can probably see we have the key to archive to the archives and a Teferi Sunset, who slows the sunset. These 2 cards together are really good because you can bring in the key to the archive. If you already have Teferi down on the field, you can immediately untap it for 2 mana. This card is crazy. It comes in tapped, but you get to go to the spell book. The spell book offers up so many spells, probably the most busted spells in all of the spell books that we have. And some of them can potentially win you the game, like Approach to the Second Sun. But our win con that we are trying to win the game with is going to be Professor Onyx. This is a 2 of in the list, but its Magecraft ability to deal 2 damage when you cast spells is really what we're focusing on, because this deck is purely spell-based, instant sorceries. It works really well with this list because we have a ton of spells that just, pump this out for 2 damage at a time. And we've got a Leer as well. Leer is really just going to get us value of replaying our cards. It's not necessarily going to try to win us the game in any facet, but Leer is a great way to recast all of your spells and just kind of refill your hand. So there's two of them in this list here today. But how are we going to basically kill the clerics? Well, with clerics, obviously there's a lot of 3 drops and below because they are pretty aggressive. So we got things like Divine Purge, a 2 of, which is going to make them have to replay those spells, and they're going to be perpetually more expensive. And so we have things like, Fading Hope and Divide by 0, which will bounce them back to their hand after they try to replay them for, upwards to 4 mana. And so this is a really great removal tool on turn 3. And we also run run 3 Doom Scars, which is also really helpful. So 5 sweepers in total. And both of these can come down potentially on turn 3 and really save our skin against, clerics. There are also some, decks that we need to be prepared for that we're seeing a lot of, like Mono Black. Mono Black likes to run things like Agadium's Awakening. There are also other Leer decks going around where they also kind of thrive off of the graveyard. So we do want to run a full play, or not a full play set, but a 3 of Go Blank. Go Blank is going to be a really good way to deal with those mirror matchups when they have Leer. You can kind of exile their graveyard and you're going to win that matchup almost every time. It's also really nice to be able to get your opponent to discard 2 cards. We've also got 2 Vanishing Verses, which is one of the best removals you can ask for. 4 Sunset Revelries, which in any aggressive matchups, namely the Clerics matchup, is going to save your butt when you're trying to, dig up some sweepers. So Sunset Revelry is going to gain you a ton of life. That's also going to create you some humans to block with. And we've got a Splash of Siphon Insight. This is just a very good utility card. If, let's say, you're going against dragons, for example. If you can top deck another dragon, you know, make a good block with it. Siphoning Insight's really, really good. It just has a lot of utility to it to be able to go into your opponent's hand or their deck and find some tools. You might even need it for some land sometimes too, which is really helpful. And then if we splashed in a couple divide by zeros just so we can open up a potential sideboard here, which we have 2 environmental sciences, 1 reduced to memory, 2 teachings, a mascot, and confront the past to try to get back our Teferi and our Onyx. But that's going to do it for today's game breakdown. Let's get into the gameplay footage now, guys. There's a lot of really fun games here, and I hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you here at the end for some final thoughts. And till then, guys, peace. Here we go. We're playing some ESPER Control today. I'm pretty pumped about that. We're going to go a little more try hard today. Go a little more try hard. We lost a bit of ranking on stream the other day. Had a bit of a bad run, so decided to make a try hard list today. Make it, you know, make it Esper, and we're gonna run with it. See what we can do. We get to go first with an interesting hand. A 2-mana hand is never a good sign. This is much better. We can keep this. I think this is doable. It's good enough. Gonna need another white source because unfortunately the meta right now is so warming with clerics, and that's kind of what we built this deck to beat, is just to keep beating clerics, because almost anybody you see with a number is running some form of clerics, it feels like. At least it feels like it. All right, we do get our second white source, which is huge because our opponent's clearly playing mono white aggression deck, and we're gonna need all the Doomscars we can get. I was considering throwing down the Vanishing Verse on that, but I think I'll wait. Okay, that's annoying. That is, in fact, really annoying. They're going to probably steal the Doomscar, which is totally fine. I've got the second one already primed up and ready to go. I'll cast it, and then that'll make my Vanishing Verse 2 again, thank goodness. They might take the formula, you never know. I doubt it, but it's a possibility. Wow, they take Vanishing Verse. Not what I expected. Not at all what I expected. All right, well, we finally got rid of Thalia, which makes our cards, you know, at least reasonable pricing. And we'll see what they hit here. Okay, so they're going for the adversary. Do they actually pump it knowing I have the Vanishing Verse? That's interesting. This is also a great answer to that too. I get to draw a card as well. This is huge. That was probably the best top deck I could have asked for. And we get a land. Don't mind if I do. I'll probably just divide, because I need to go get an environmental sciences to get another blue so I can cast the discover formula here. Okay. Cathar is fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. We'll divide the intrepid adversary, and then we will call it a day on the turn. If they replay it, they don't get the pump, so I doubt they will. They probably have another 2-drop, I would assume. I mean, they're mono white, so you gotta assume they've got it. That's a great top deck as well. Very good top deck. It's something that I can actually cast this turn if I want to. All right, we get our second blue. We get Doomscar put away, and we also cast Vanishing Verse. Super great turn right there. That couldn't have been better. They held up their adversary, by the way, because they want to make sure they get the pump off. Ooh, okay. That's fine. We have Doomscar in reserves, so it's all good. It's all good. That's pretty annoying, but again, Doomscar. Doomscar for the win, baby. All right, my turn. More mana is definitely welcomed here. Not enough white mana there to tap properly for me to cast a Vanishing Verse on this next go around, but it's still totally worth the cast here. Indestructibility. Oh, you savage. Well, I got 2 answers for that next turn. All right, that's fine. Double pump is fine. We're at 24 life total, so we're only going down to 20, and we've got great answers for both these cards here. You love to see it. Ooh, even better. Even better. All right, that's out of here. My formula becomes a little cheaper now. You love to see it. Fading Hope is a great spell for the adversary just because they've put so much mana into it. And we go ahead and get a Scry off too, which is helpful. Doomscar is a great card, but I actually need to start finding you know, win cons and things like that. So all right, they get one additional pump off of that. We Vanishing Verse here. And we get to cast a formula this turn. Lear's kind of nice because Lear can get us back a Fading Hope and a Vanishing Verse. So that is not bad. I really want to cast the formula, but it's never seems to be a good time just yet. So, I mean, I'll take it. It's never a bad thing, you know? We'll be seeing you, Intrepid. Mono white, just not enough to get the job done here against our control deck. Our control deck was kind of built for, you know, decks like this, so not too worried about this matchup. Like I said, we were trying to build to just take down clerics. Clerics are just too overpowered right now, and every time I run into them, there's really no great answer. So we went with like basically removal tribal with some really cool answers for control decks. But GG. All right, solid first game. Not too bad, not too bad. I hope you guys are enjoying the new music that we're playing here on the stream today. It's a little different than what we normally play, but found a little bit of a Christmas album type music, so that'd be cool to play. This is a good hand. I just need to find a second white land, and we should be good to go. We'll see if we can pull that off. We're definitely gonna need this for white, so we'll cast that first. All right, top 1100 here, and it looks like it's gonna be dragons, I would assume. So please, oh please, let me get that white source so I can get these Doom Scars and Purges off. Here comes the Whelp on turn 2, because that's how it works. Yep, they never miss. See, when I've been playing dragons recently, I feel like I missed quite a bit, so it's a little disheartening to know that if you're playing dragons right now, you're just gonna get, they're gonna have it, you know, they're gonna have it, which is really annoying. All right, come on, second white source. We really need this. If we can hit this land, the one we need, we are at least in the game, kind of. Our lands are going to get blown up, though, by the terror, which is so annoying. This hits both of those, which is really nice if I can get that land. Come on. They're going Boros on me, huh? It's a land, but it's not the one we wanted. All right, not good. Let's draw a card. I think drawing the card's more important here. And it's a white source. Okay, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. I suppose on second thought I should have played that first, but it wouldn't have mattered because I had to tap a white source for it anyway. So I guess it didn't really matter either way you look at it. Chandra, I did not expect to see that card come down. That is a surprise. That is definitely a surprise. Regent comes down. Okay, so now our Divine Purge, not as good. Not as good. Probably leaning more towards the Doomscar now. But we attack first. Any bit of damage that gets through to Chandra is going to be helpful. We get both. Nice. Okay. That's 4, right? So yeah, Doomscar is going to have to be the play for this go around. And we can't play anything else, unfortunately. Go blank here would have been amazing, but just unable to play it. Next turn, we do get Onyx out, which is helpful, but the problem with getting Onyx down is if we minus it on one of these dragons, they can play a hasty dragon on the very next turn and just go for it. which is rough.
Watch me heat up the dance floor.
Like, yeah, I would love to just minus and blow that up, but they just followed up with another hasty dragon and we're in trouble. So, but they play another dragon, which is a lot more value for my Doomscar. So, and we can go blank at the same time. So this ain't too bad. This is not terrible. Let's see what we hit. Hopefully something good. Another Chandra. That's good enough. It's a good enough hit. And now I feel a lot safer with my Professor Onyx here. Hopefully they top decked land. That'd be great. All right, they're going for the exile play. They do get a spell, but it's a useless spell. Love to see that. Onyx will hopefully get us back in this game with all the life gain that we can get. They're unable to play the gold span because of its mana cost. And we get another go blank. That's huge. So if we do this and hit a land, we're gonna be feeling pretty bad. Let's think go blank's the only way to go here. I think it's the only way to go here. It feels bad though because of the way our mana looks. Like it would have been so much nicer to get down a sorry, I was just looking to see what that was. Okay. Yeah, it would have been so much nicer to get down an Onyx there, but I didn't have the luxury, unfortunately, to play it. Nice, they whiff.
Fun idea.
I'm guessing that was probably land, which is super great. Onyx is gonna hit, and then we can go digging for land. If they top deck and hasty creature, especially the Inferno, we're just gonna die here, which really hurts, but it is what it is. I will take Teferi here. Teferi is going to gain us a ton of life, and the insight goes to the graveyard, which means it has flashback. So Teferi could be our saving grace here by gaining us a ton of life, but we'll see. Chandra is how close to alting? Just one more turn.
So I'm a little hot-headed. So what?
All right, there's 2 damage to our Planeswalker. That's fine. Which means they don't have a 5-drop, meaning no gold span. Nice. That's so huge. That's so huge. All right, Teferi's coming down, and now we're just going to be gaining life like crazy.
This is a serious situation.
All right, and then we have Siphon and Insight here to get a card off the top of their deck. Fading Hope, that's nice because we could play that with the Siphoning Insight. Huge. Clutch.
There has to be an answer here.
Okay. Dragons are our toughest matchup. Thank goodness they're not running traditional dragons. They're running more of like a jankier dragons with the Chandras and stuff. Like it feels pretty good, this matchup. Usually dragons are our worst matchup. Dragons are very, very hard to beat. So I'm digging this. I'm digging this. And if we can just on-tap one more turn with both these Planeswalkers out here, I don't see how too many decks are going to beat this particular situation. We do have to figure out a way, though, to deal with Chandra, so I'll probably have to get a dragon with haste off the top of their deck here. And if I do, I'm going to definitely keep it, because I got to kill Chandra here. Chandra's ult, though, let's see what it says. So it says, exile top 5 cards of the library. You may cast red spells from among them this turn. You can emblem. Yeah, that's not good. This will at least slow it down a turn. Let's slow it down a turn for its ult. We do gain some life off of it too. Super helpful, actually. Anything in the graveyard to deal with it? No, nothing in the graveyard here. If we go here, that leaves us with 1 land. Guaranteed 2 from Teferi. Potentially 3 because of the formula drawing into 1. And we have Fading Hope. I think that's good enough. I guess we're going to be plussing this anyway, so let's see what we hit with this first. Could use a Vanishing Verse. That would be the best potential top deck. No Vanishing Verse, but we do get the Archive. That's actually really nice. I think that's a must play this turn. A must play here, and then D-Spark could be good. Day of Judgment. We do get Despark. Okay. Despark's probably one of the better ones we could have got there. The Purge is no good anymore. We'll get rid of that. Teferi. Untap the key. And a land. Despark's going to shut down the
Give me a moment.
Gold Span. This has one more turn to go. Okay. Yeah, we're looking really, really good here. So we play this. We still have mana for Despark and Fading Hope. We gain a little more life from the Onyx. And I think we go full lockdown mode now. Like we're shutting them out here, I think. Here's where things go heavily into our direction in our favor. This is where this game starts to turn around. Drop that Gold Span, baby. Let's go. Easy Despark. All right, they deal 1 damage to my Planeswalker. Pretty smart. I was actually pretty close to alting it. Yeah.
Looking a little singed.
Do this before they attack. No treasures for you. But they could protect it. I have seen that protection card that gives indestructibility. Actually, this is an exiling effect. There's no protection here. No protection here from exile, my friend. All right, now I feel really good about casting this. We should be able to find something to deal with Chandra. You know what? That was actually a mistake because I could have casted, or I could have done this first and got whatever I top deck cheaper, but I screwed that up. Divide by 0. There's our answer. Could have been a 2-drop though.
Let's go.
But I screwed up. It's fine though. There's the scoop. They have no other choice but to scoop. They got to reset Chandra. Resetting Chandra there was pretty much a death sentence for them. So good games. Let's go. Man, the key is too good, man. If you match the key up with Teferi, it is just so good, man. It is just overly powered. I love it though. I love it. I love that combo. I feel like Prismari Command should be a lot better and in a lot more decks these days just because of that combo, but that's just me, I guess. Having an Artifact Destruction is not a bad idea right now, especially because you're running up against a lot of like, I mean, just a lot of artifacts in general, but the key is the main thing. Like the key is busted. We're up against Prismari Dragons. So we might actually see Prismari Command come down on us this turn. I might have just jinxed ourselves here. My dog is barking hysterically, like usual. Sorry about that. Nothing new here. Oh, they get down the Tyrant on turn 2. For us, turn 2. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. The earlier that thing gets down, the more it just absolutely runs through us. I don't know why my wife isn't saying anything to the dog. That's kind of weird. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. I'm going to mute for a second. All right, sounds like my dog finally stopped barking. I apologize again for that. My dogs wow out a little bit. They're a little crazy. So if I do this and this, I gain 4, 5, 6 life, and I guarantee another land. Or I could do Teferi, and it doesn't die, and I can hold up Fading Hope. Yeah, that's good enough for me. All right, we got Fading Hope. Can bounce a dragon. If it's just a Tyrant, I'm gonna let it go through. If they throw down a hasty creature, I will bounce it. That is not what I want to see hit the field, but I will bounce it on the end step before it gets off. Can I actually do that? Can I bounce it before it gets its counters without it being replayed? I'll put a stop here. There's no way to do it. So if I bounce the whelp now, it'll just come back down and then it will get its pump anyways. So I gotta let it resolve. It's so unfortunate, but I do have to let it resolve, which means it does get its little mana pump there. I can let this go actually now. I can let that go. We need more blue and we top deck blue. That's so clutch. We blow up the board. Hold up Fading Hope. Teferi gains us more life. You love to see it. And we could cast Environmental, but I think I'm gonna just wait because I need to hold that Fading Hope. Like I said, if it's like a Goldspan Dragon, I don't want that hitting the field. If I can prolong that longer, the better, because it's just gonna generate treasures, which it's a no-go for me, fam. That's a no bueno for me, fam. But unfortunately we're gonna meet the Piper here. Teferi's out of here, so I might as well -2 here on this. Teferi's gonna get hit by that Goldspan Dragon, so let's get a card here. It's not a bad card. Not a bad card. All right, we do get to draw a card here with this. Nice. All right, we're back to 22 life total. That is huge, but we've run into a very particular problem that we run into facing dragons, and that is they have haste, they have unlimited mana generation. They're gonna unload their hand, and I don't have any more sweepers in hand at the moment, so I'm gonna need to find those sweepers ASAP. ASAP. All right. Discover the formula, I think, is the play here. I thought about playing the archive there, but without Teferi, it's kind of pointless. So let's play the formula, make this cheaper, and see what we can do. Hopefully the formula can hit us a sweeper like a Doomscar, because this is a problem. This particular board state is becoming an issue. 2-3, they can play the Prismari Dragon as well. They don't. Wow. They're playing it safe, huh? Playing it safe. So we can try to go for D-Spark again. Play Teferi. And I still gain life from the Revelries. I think that's the only thing we really can do. I only see one path to somewhat victory here, and it would be to get a D-Spark off of this. Claim the Firstborn is a sorcery. I wish it wasn't. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is the only one that makes sense. Do I have enough mana though? I think I will. Because we get to Teferi down and we still have one open. Yeah, this is enough mana. Sweet. Okay. Teferi is not going to die to Goldspan. That's the good news. So select this, submit 0, and what do we need? Doesn't matter, right? We'll go for blue. All right, the backup plan there would have been to cast 2 Sunset Revelries, gaining 8 life and getting 2 from Teferi. So that would have been, 10 life. But now the plan is to play Putrefy. Dragon's Fire on Teferi. That is cold-blooded.
I've got some time to.
All right. Putrefy is ready to go. We got the key down, which is so clutch. The key is very, very clutch, but our hand looks really bad right now. It looks as bad as it can get at the moment. I'm gonna let them attack and declare maybe some pumps. That would be good. I mean, if they pump up like their Inferno, that is. All right, this is fine. We're going to definitely sacrifice that land. We have so much mana. All right, see if they pump all this treasure into their Inferno. Nope, they do not. Yes, it goes. Let's go. I was worried. I was very, very worried there. Dragons is just so hard to beat, man. If we're talking control, it's just such a hard deck to beat. All right, we get another Discover Formula, which is very, very good if we hit the right cards. We don't. We don't hit the right cards at all. Being dealt 8 damage over the top here. Potentially more if they draw into... if they draw into another dragon with haste. Will I just die if I play this? I could play both. Okay. Let's play that. And then play this. This will help my odds, hopefully, with hitting something with haste, but if they had something with haste, I doubt they'd be silly enough to throw it away, so... we will see. No attacks, obviously. They just die. And then what do we do next turn? Do we Leer and then just Doomscar the board and kill our own Leer? It's potentially the right thing to do. Oh, no. Oh, no. We got the CGB special today, huh? CGB's list that just dropped today. Here it is. Got me with the old net decking, huh? Is there a way I could play Leer? 2, 3, 4. Doomscar and Fading Hope my own Leer. There is, but that doesn't stop our problem of the Goldspan dragons and the gold dragons and everything up there with haste. You know what I'm saying? So frustrating, man. So frustrating. All right, so our only chance here is to do the Doomscar. And Fading Hope. All right, Goldspan Dragon comes in and creates a treasure. Do we even have a shot here? I just don't know. We got him down to 4 or 5 mana. I mean, that's something, right? Like, but then they cast Goldspan. They are up to, you know, 6, 7. And plus they just dropped the land, making 8. Okay, they're going with the gold dragon first. I can dig that. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do here. These Sunset Revelries are really, really nice. Let's do this first. Let's get another land. Let's grab a white land just because we're going to cast 2 Sunset Revelries here. And we get a card off of it too, which is super helpful. Are we really going to come back into this game? That would be pretty wild, I can't lie. All right, and then we've got the Putrefy. Putrefy is going to be nice. We can hit their Goldspan Dragon. We're going to allow them to keep dealing that 4 adult gold dragon damage to us for now. We do have another Doomscar in hand too, which is super great. 1, 2, 3 mana they have right now. Let's keep it that way. They can't cast either one of those. And then we gotta go blank for 2 next turn, which is great. Shoot, man, we might be okay. We might have stabilized here. Even after they cast their big Tiamat, we might be okay here. I didn't realize that had to, oh, these are all perpetual. Oh, shoot, I didn't realize they were all perpetually cheaper. That's a little bit of a oversight on my part. Okay, so first things first. Go blank. Get rid of both those dragons. And if I divide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, perfect. Okay, we'll divide this. We'll Doomscar the board. And Shazam, baby, we are back. Shazam, baby, let's go. They're gonna sack their orb, I'm sure. Oh no, of course they top deck a gold dragon. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, well, they're making this hard on me, huh? They're making this as hard as they possibly can on us. All right, let's go here again. Yikes, man. All right. If we play this, we're left with 1, 2 mana. That's not great. That's not great. So I think we just play this, gain the 4 life. We hold divide as our main source of survival here. And let's get another key down. That seems good. Let's get another key down. The key is going to find us something hopefully good. I think Time Warp's our best bet here. Taking an extra turn next turn will be great. And we discard the Purge because that's the most useless card we have. All right, we're looking okay. So no matter what card... Oh, they didn't sack their orb. That was a big mistake on their part. They should have sacked their orb there and grabbed another dragon, but they did not. So now they're at the mercy of their top deck. If they sack their orb now, that's 1 less mana they have to use, or 2 actually. Or no, just 1. But either way, whatever they cast here is going to get bounced by Divide by 0. And then we just Time Warp and take 2 turns and hopefully set up for something big. That's quite the dragon, I can't lie. And it needs what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, not even close. That's actually super great for us. We have to ferry. Oh, I just realized my thing's not playing. The music is supposed to be playing. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and get an extra turn. Let's play this bad boy. It's probably the best thing we can do right now. No lands. Oh, they scoop it up. I cannot believe they casted a Tiamat and we still won that game. That is actually mind-blowing to me right now. What a game, dude. And we didn't even hit a land there. We really needed to land off of that, but it's not the end of the world. We would have got back to Fairy with... no, we wouldn't have got it back, but eventually we would have got back to Fairy, taken another turn, gained some life. Oh, so good, man. So good. And that covers today's gameplay footage, guys. That was an epic last game. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know how we came back against those dragons, but I really had a lot of fun today with this list. A card in particular I've been dying to play is this key to the archives. We really kind of built this deck as an Azorius, you know, control list, but there's been so many Azorius lists going around. I really wanted to splash it in black, mainly for Onyx, obviously, but things like Vanishing Verse and Siphoning Insight are just too fun to play. They're cheap. They're very powerful cards. They're, you know, being 2-drops and being able to just exile anything, and then also getting into your opponent's deck is really helpful in some cases. And it also, like I said, it opens up the mirror matchup. Being able to, you know, exile your opponent's graveyard is pretty good. There's a lot of graveyard effects going around, so it was really nice to be able to hit the go blank. And even with the clerics, I forgot to mention, they do run the ability to, you know, hit the pyre, and then they have the you know, the cleric that brings clerics back from the graveyard. So being able to hit the go blank is really clutch. So I really enjoy the deck. I personally don't have any ideas on how I want to tweak this. I did try running this with 24 lands instead of 25, but it seemed like we were always struggling to hit that land drop when we needed it. We have a lot of big spells in this deck. We have, you know, 4 really big players here. Doomscar obviously can come down on 3, but if you do top deck it, it's tough to play when you need to cast it for 5. So it is tough. And we don't have any way to make the discover the formula cheaper. There are obviously new spells in Alchemy where you can make your spells cheaper. There's a new creature spell. I think it's a 2-drop, and it makes all your yeah, this one right here. It basically comes in, the Geist Channeler comes in, and it makes one of your cards that has mana value 3 or greater perpetually 2 less to cast. So I know a lot of people are comboing off with this one and the formula, but I really didn't want to make the same deck everyone else was doing. So I thought I'd just try to play the formula, you know, hard cast it on 6 for the full cost. And I still think the value is there for this card. I think it's plenty strong enough to still cast and without, you know, making it cheap, and still get a ton of value out of it. Our deck allows us a lot of time in the early game with all these Sunset Revelries and removal and sweepers. We should be able to buy us enough time to get down, you know, the formula in late game, no problem. But that is one thing you could add to the list. You know, the Geist Channeler is a very, very good spell. There are a lot of really cool things that you could do with this list, but I personally like where it's at. I'm not going to change it. I hope you guys like it as well. But obviously, here's the part where I leave it in your guys' hands. If you guys have any ideas on how to make it better and you end up playtesting it and it turns out, you know, it works really well, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the deck and what kind of ideas you guys have for it. But I hope you enjoyed today's list. Huge shout out to everyone who made it this far into the video. Just got to say thank you so much. It helps so much more than you know to stay this long into a video. It means the world to me that you guys stay and support the channel the way you do. So thank you so much. And lastly, huge shout out goes to the Mardu Mob. These are the members on the channel. We call them the Mardu Mob. They support the channel through a financial membership every single month for $4.99. They get some perks added to their account, but they ultimately support the channel, support the dream, and help this channel grow to a point that one day we can maybe go full-time for you guys. So thank you so much for the Mardu Mob. And if you guys want to become more, part of the Mardu Mob, you can hit the join button down below or a link in the description. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And we'll see you guys back here most likely on Monday. Until next time, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Spacey, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the Mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap, yeah.